Julius Randle head-to-head against fellow All-Star Domantas Sabonis won the battle, 20 of his 28 in the second half. Sabonis, though, Pacers down 5. Hits a miracle 3 off the glass. He banks it in. Pacers down 2. And the Pacers are down 2 in the final seconds. Derrick Rose, a deflection. And Frank Ntilikina in for the defense. Records the steal, then hits 2 key free throws after he gets fouled. And the Knicks beat the Pacers tonight 110-107. The Knicks are now 17-17. Wow, it's great to have you with us. What another great win for this Knicks team from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pito, along with Wally Zerbiak. Alan Hahn joins us from home. And Alan, Knicks now are tied for fourth with Toronto in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, it's hard to believe you could have a team that can move that high at a 500 record, but that's the East. We talked about it in the pregame, just how tight it is. So that's what makes these games so critical to be at this point in the season. Remember, this is not an 82-game season. This is a 72-game season, so it's going to be a lot different when we're talking about this point of the year. But to be fourth, to sit in that place, and it'll change day by day. They play again tomorrow. But that's significant. Winning the season series against the Pacers is significant. If it comes down to tiebreakers later on, that's a big deal. And also just historically, just the fact that this team was a team that not many people thought would be contending for a playoff spot. And here they are almost at the midpoint of the season, sitting fourth in the East at 500. They haven't been in a place like this. 500 at this late in the season, you're talking about back in the 2016 season when they were 20-20. And if you want to talk about being in fourth place this late in the season, let's take you back to 2013 when they won 54 games and, oh, by the way, won the division and finished second overall in the Eastern Conference. So that's what we're talking about, how much has been accomplished so far. But as we saw in this game, there's still a ways to go to get this team where it potentially could be.
Yeah, they're a bunch of tough dudes out there, the Knicks. I mean, this was a grinding game mentally and physically. And give the Pacers a ton of credit. Undermanned without Malcolm Brogdon, but they did not go away in this game. And the Knicks had to play at a high level. I mean, Nerlens Noel played a ton of minutes. I think he played like 40-some-odd minutes, 41, 42, 41. Randle played 41 minutes, no Taj Gibson, and they were getting pinballed all around, all over the place. And how about Julius Randle taking the challenge, 2 All-Stars going up against each other and making all the big plays against Domantas Sabonis. And Sabonis played hard. He played well. The Knicks had a great game plan against him. They did not let him get going on the offensive end of the floor, tried to make everyone else beat them. But R.J. Barrett making those big shots, that big and one opportunity. This Knicks team has something special. Tom Thibodeau is instilling a big-time toughness in them that's going to help them win a lot of games, and this was one of them.
We have said it's not always pretty, but it is always gritty. They were down 16 in the second quarter, came back to lead by 2 at the half. They're up 9 early in the fourth and then end up going down 5 with 4 minutes to go, and yet they're able to pull it out.
It's crazy. It honestly is nuts, the swings in this game. And these are 2 teams that are so evenly matched that, you know, this is what you're going to get from the 2 teams that are like this. And it was close down the stretch. It really was. Here's R.J. Barrett making some huge plays. He hit that big 3. Then he gets that and-one opportunity. That's the game. That's the bucket that made it a 1-point Knick lead. How about Julius Randle? That was well defended. That gave them a nice-sized lead. And here's R.J. Barrett taking the ball to the basket. He gets that to go. Phenomenal bucket. But give the Pacers a lot of credit. They did not go away. Edmund Sumner? Really? Edmund Sumner from Xavier knocks down that huge 3. That cut it to 2. And then Nerlens Noel trying to get the ball to Domantas Sabonis. Bad pass by Miles Turner. And then that was 2-point game. Just inexplicable what they came out of the timeout with and why they didn't foul Frank Ntilikina faster to try to extend the game a little bit. They just sat there and watched. It's a 2-point game still. If Frank misses one of those 2 free throws, it's a 1-possession game. They have the ball with the opportunity to make a 3, and McConnell just sat there and watched them. I didn't understand what the Pacers were thinking, but the Knicks did all the things they needed to do to close this game down the stretch.
All the Frank Hive loved that moment. What a moment it was when Ntilikina gets his long reach, his long arm gets out there to pick off that pass and take it the other way to put a stop to that. Why did the ball go out of Sabonis' hands on that possession is the other question I had. What was he giving it back to McConnell for? That should have been his shot. That should have been his play. That part I didn't understand at all. But you'll take it because the Knicks defense was certainly ready for anything, and they had to be. And you got the deflections that certainly were necessary. But the Knicks offensively in this game got what they needed when they needed it. R.J. Barrett at times was maddening, but he was also incredible. And he made big shots. He seems to play very well against the Pacers, no doubt about it. They got to the 12 three-pointers made in this game. Another formula I've thrown out there when they have success. But the minutes, Wally, you bring up, the minutes we keep an eye on. You know the play we just saw there where Sabonis, where Noel makes the great play to steal on the pass into the post, and Sabonis fell on his legs. And you saw Noel get up and a little shaken up. Remember, he's had some issues with his knees. This is a back-to-back. He just played 40 minutes tomorrow night. You play for tonight. I understand that. But for tomorrow night, keep an eye on him, and certainly keep an eye on Derrick Rose, who also logged a ton of minutes for him. He was at, where was he at?
38.
I got to find him in the stat sheet.
38.
38, right, 37-42 was his total in this game. In a back-to-back situation now with Derrick Rose going back to Detroit. All stuff to keep an eye on, but you worry about the win tonight, the game in front of you, and that's why those guys played down the stretch and finished it off.
Elfrid Payton out with the hamstring again. That's why you had the minutes from Derrick Rose, and also the fact that Frank Ntilikina for the second straight game was key in the rotation, especially tonight during that sequence down the stretch. You're going to look at the box score. Everybody's going to see, all right, Randle, 28 points, 10 rebounds.
Oh.
How about his defense against Domantas Sabonis, who averages 21 a game, did score 15, but only 5 of 10 from the floor? And Randle's D had a lot to do with that.
Randle physically is a really good matchup for him because Sabonis is really strong. He tries to play bully ball, but Randle is not going to have it. I mean, just keeping his space, and Randle's given up some size, too. But Randle can keep up with him athletically because he can move his feet, and Sabonis is really nifty for his size. There, the defense leads to the offense. Here, Randle reads the defense. Talk about taking ownership. I mean, this is an all-star that's absolutely just laying out on the defensive end of the floor. I mean, just taking care of a really, really dominant four-man. This was a real clash of young stars to come in this league. I really believe both these guys are going to be battling it out for years. They're good cornerstones and pieces, and they're exactly what an NBA team wants in a power forward. Versatility where you can extend to the three-point line, where you can pass, draw double teams. You can go inside and outside. Give Sabonis credit, too. I mean, he had a pretty good game. He had 9 assists, 7 rebounds. He did have 5 turnovers. The Knicks made him work quite a bit, and they created a lot of turnovers with their double teams. I thought they kept him confused. I thought they mixed up the coverages. I thought Tom Thibodeau coached a gem again.
I love the word you use there, Wally, when it comes to Julius Randle, ownership. We've been seeing that over the last, I would say, a couple of weeks now, well before when the All-Star talk started happening, but well before he was named to the All-Star team. The way he played in certain games, the way you see him sometimes jaw with opposing team benches, the way he steps in at times when another player starts talking crap to one of the young players on the Knicks. Little things like that just shows you that he's not just here wearing the uniform, he's here representing it. That's what you love to see. That's how you become a star. And it's little things like that. The challenge tonight, another All-Star, a guy who might have said, I should have made it over you. Okay, well, guess what? I'm going to outplay you and show you that I deserve that spot over you. But congratulations, you got it in as an injury replacement. I can't say enough about Randle and the transformation of him compared to last year. It's been fantastic to watch, and night in and night out, he does show up for this team.
Sabonis with only 5 field goals. That is a huge storyline, and one of the main reasons why the Knicks were able to win this game.